Part 2 of Full Court Press Basketball Debate, Special Edition, April 27th, 2015. We pick up with the Cleveland-Boston game. Kevin Love dislocated his shoulder in the first quarter, getting tangled up with Boston's Kelly Olynyk. Kevin Love, after the game, called it intentional, said Olynyk meant to do it. It was a Bush League play. Olynyk says there was nothing intentional about it. What is your viewpoint on it, Yvonne Juneau? And why do you feel that way?
I don't have an opinion about it. It's very simple. All you have to do is look at the footage. All you have to do is look at the footage.
Plain and simple.
You can see how deliberate it was. It was very deliberate. Okay? They showed it this morning.
I mean, if you look at the footage, you see him lock that arm
Absolutely.
and pull.
Absolutely.
You can tell that he
You can
wasn't
see the
just-
moment it happens. You can see the instant it happens.
Yeah, because you can see his shoulder come out.
Do I think that Olynyk meant to hurt him to the extent that he ended up hurting him? Probably not. Probably not. But anytime you're going to make a tactical maneuver like that, you run the risk of ending somebody's career. It was unnecessary.
Did Olynyk get ejected?
No.
No.
This was one of those highly questionable plays that we referred to in Part 1.
All right.
I am not going to sit here and say that Kelly Olynyk completely 150% did this on purpose. I am going to say that Kevin Love actually initiated the contact because they were blocking out. This is how you block out for a rebound.
You can't play
Okay.
basketball without...
Now, Olynyk wrapping the arm,
Right.
that's fine with me. It's this that I don't
The
like.
jerking motion.
I don't... It happens so fast,
Uh-huh.
and there's so many arms and limbs and people in the clip, you don't know if it was intentional.
You can
Did
see it
Look
when it happens.
intentional?
Yes.
Yes. It looked very, very intentional.
Chris, was he running the risk of it being intentional and being that severe by doing what he did?
Well, yeah, but I'm not
Okay.
going to say that he intended to hurt the man.
No!
But you
Especially
see,
not to
that's
that
where-
extent.
That's
but
where
that's
the
a
word,
chance you take.
But see, that's where the word intentional kind of gets misconstrued. Because if he didn't mean to hurt him, then was it
Why
intentional?
do it? Right.
Was it intentional?
Huh?
We don't know. Was the contact intentional? Very much so.
Yes.
Was the pulling of the arm intentional? Very much so. Was the
And
injury
that's where...
was the injury intentional? I don't know. I don't know. And I don't think any of us
Olynyk
know.
might not even know. But he knew what he was doing when he pulled on that arm.
The New Orleans Pelicans will offer Anthony Davis the max contract. It is looking like 5 years, $140 million.
I thought you told me 180.
140. That will make him the highest paid player in the league if that goes through.
Ever?
Not ever, but in the league
At this moment.
at
Okay.
this moment.
Who is the highest paid player ever?
Who got the biggest contract?
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant.
Okay. Okay?
Your thoughts and where do the Pelicans go from here after being swept? What off-season changes do you think that the Pelicans need to make?
First of all, has Anthony Davis accepted?
No. He's got till October 31st.
I was about to ask you, what is his time frame?
He's got till October 31st.
So in other words, everybody else and their cousin could offer him more if they can afford it.
They can't. I'm here to tell you that no other team in the league can offer him more than we are offering him.
Because they can't afford it?
Because they cannot afford it.
Okay. Because they've got money spread out so much amongst the other players.
Correct.
Okay. Where did all of a sudden we get this big chunk of change?
Because once his
to
salary
offer-
expires, we have, oh God, I really don't, we have what they call bird rights. It's a long process. Basically, your team has cap room, and then there's hard cap room, which is the extra money saved off to the side. With bird rights, those are a bunch of contract things. We have direct rights to Anthony Davis, no matter the amount of money. That is why we can offer him more than any other team in the league can.
Okay.
Because we have bird rights on him.
Yeah, but you got to have the money to be able to offer it.
We have it. With bird rights and with hard cap room, we have it.
Somebody had to come up with that extra money.
We had it set aside for this very moment.
Benson and them decided,
Oh yeah.
okay,
They had this plan when they drafted him.
okay. I think it's wonderful. I hope he accepts it. I think he deserves it. And if he's playing with the capacity that he's playing now, he deserves it. He deserves it. And we're history without him.
Your thoughts?
My thoughts? Awesome. It's great. It's obvious that we want Anthony Davis back on the
Oh my
Pelicans.
gosh.
Because this year, we'll talk about it.
Even
The
though
last
we
topic.
didn't,
Even though-
we didn't
even
make
though-
it past the playoffs.
Even though we didn't get past the first round, he was extremely.
we would have never made it to the rounds at all
No,
Let me
without
put
him.
it to you this way. If not for Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis gets my MVP vote.
Right.
Does that say enough?
Right.
Now, where do the Pelicans go from here? I'm not going to say that the Pelicans are so much in a rebuilding stage.
They're babies. They're still new.
Give Anthony Davis 2 years.
Yeah.
Give him
Give
Even
him one
next year.
Yeah, give him by next year.
Well, it also depends on how many other changes are going to be made.
But see, that's what I'm asking you. By asking this question, I'm saying if you worked in the front office, what changes would you make this offseason?
Okay, well, we need to keep Drew for sure. I don't know. I don't
Want me
know.
to lay it
how
out for you
change-
and see if y'all agree?
Okay.
Give Anthony Davis his money is number
Okay.
one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to bring up coaching because that's for the last topic. Most importantly,
I know what
you
you're going to say.
re-sign Norris Cole.
Absolutely.
Number one priority.
Absolutely.
Number two, you do.
Boy, did he, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but boy, did he step in when
We debated
Drew
it
got
on
hurt.
deadline day. When we had our
Oh
deadline day
my
debate, did I not say that the
gosh.
dark horse
Yep.
of deadline day
Yep.
was Norris Cole to New Orleans?
Yep.
Thank you.
I was actually saving that for part B of question 16 for the
Mhm.
most surprising player this year.
Yep.
Number two, or number three, do something with Eric
I
Gordon's
knew you were
contract.
going there. I knew you
Either-
were going there.
Either release him or let him stay. But we need long-term plans for Eric Gordon. No matter what the plans are, we have to have long-term plans.
I agree.
Number four, build a bench.
Oh, Lord, yes.
Here are the guys that I believe need to stay on our bench. Number one would be Norris Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Number two would be Quincy Pondexter. Number three would be Alexi Agensa.
Yes.
And number four
Cunningham.
would be Dante Cunningham.
Yep.
Luke Babbitt, get rid of him.
I agree.
Jimmer Fredette, get rid of him.
I agree.
Thank you for your time, but see ya. Jeff Withey, same thing. That's 3 roster spots that you can fill
Right.
with not necessarily great players, but players that fill out your roster and come up from the bench to give you much-needed minutes.
And say your
points.
novenas and prayers that Ryan Anderson stays healthy.
And, to me, the number one most important thing that the Pelicans need to do this offseason, okay? Yes, above Anthony Davis, because I think Anthony Davis is going to accept our contract. He's young. He doesn't want to leave home. I think he's going to stay. I can almost 100% assure you that he will.
Sorry to interrupt you, but he needs to gain about 40 or 50 pounds.
Extend Tyreke Evans' contract. I don't care what you say about Anthony Davis. I don't care what you say about Aaron Gordon. I don't care what you say about Norris Cole or Drew Holiday. The most consistent player this season. Not the best player.
No, I agree.
The most consistent for 82 plus games.
Yes.
Was Tyreke Evans.
And the one that made the most impact with the least amount of injuries.
Tyreke
Yes.
Evans has to be a major priority.
Yep.
He's a do-it-all player.
How long's his contract for?
After next year, he is a free agent.
He's still got another year.
But we can extend the contract at any time.
If we extend it, we got to give him more money. He deserves more money.
You damn right he deserves more money.
He should be making more than Eric's making.
Yes, he should be. If you're basing it on the past couple of seasons, yes.
Yeah. I mean, and you know how much I love Eric, but
Boston's Marcus Smart oversleeps and gets replaced in the starting lineup for Game 4 for Boston. First, let's get our thoughts on this. I'll start to my right with Johnny.
what can you say about that?
I mean,
How did you find out about that?
It's news.
It was news. I even read about it. I mean,
They must have been playing it at home in Boston.
Yeah.
He
It was
just
this past game.
overslept and showed up late.
He overslept and showed up late.
Oh my God.
I mean, okay, how long has he been in the NBA?
Wow.
How long has he been playing basketball? Okay, period, regardless whether this is your first year, first week, first day in the NBA, regardless, you don't show up late.
You're in the NBA.
You're in the NBA.
No
You're
kidding.
already there.
This is your job. This is the National Basketball Association.
Now, you know for a fact, if somebody normal, like us,
Right.
would oversleep, we would lose our job.
Well, no kidding. By the way, I'm sorry to interrupt you,
No.
Johnny. Are they going to fine him? Does he have to sit? Are they going to do anything to him?
He just got replaced
It's a
in the
team
starting lineup of the
situation.
game.
It's a team situation, not an organizational situation.
There will be no repercussions from this?
Well, read the second part of the statement.
How much did this contribute to Boston?
No.
Oh, wait.
He got replaced in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
That's
He was
what
a
happened.
starter. And Brad Stevens sat him.
Oh, not just for that game.
Yeah.
From
for
now
that
on?
game.
For that
no,
game.
I mean, their season's over.
Oh.
But he
Oh,
sat
that's
him.
right.
They
He
lost.
sat him in a pivotal game. In a game that they had to win. He sat as starting point guard. I agree with your
Shocked
assessment.
and embarrassed.
You're in the NBA, it's your job, but
No kidding.
I absolutely
What does the
love-
future hold for him?
I love what Brad Stevens did by taking him out of the starting lineup.
Right.
I love it. Even though it costed them their season, I love what he did.
Do you think
because
it
you are
would have
setting
made a
precedent.
difference? You think it would have made a difference if he'd have been there?
Yes.
You
Because
think
he's by
they would have
far,
won?
he has been their best player by far outside of Isaiah Thomas in that Cleveland series. He was their best player. Shame.
So what do you think that's going to mean for next season? Do you think... How long's his contract for?
Well, he's a rookie this year. So, he's got 2 years left in Boston.
And there's no repercussions.
Not from the league, because it's not a league issue. It's a team issue.
Okay, but Brad can make a judgment call.
Brad can't suspend him. That's up to the league. Brad suspended him by taking him out of the starting lineup.
He can sit his ass for the first few games next season.
No. Shame.
Wow.
Absolute shame. Okay, guys.
Oh, I don't want to talk about this one.
No. No. We talked about Derrick Rose saying it's all on me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Adam Silver says the NBA will talk heavily about a Hack-a-Shaq solution. Are we familiar with Hack-a-Shaq?
No, not entirely.
I don't know.
Shaquille O'Neal, as you know, could do everything except shoot free throws. During his career, he shot free throws at a miserably whopping 41% for his career.
That's pathetic.
You know when teams intentionally foul the other team's worst free throw shooter because they know they're going to miss?
Because they know they're going to get up to the line and miss, and you have a possibility of getting a rebound.
So Hack-a-Shaq, what can be done? What can be done to solve this, if anything?
I don't think it's possible to.
Well,
I mean, you're gonna put a tag around somebody's neck and say, "Oh, by the way, because he doesn't know how to shoot free throws, you can't foul him." I don't think that's possible. How in the world would you go about doing that?
How did they come to the conclusion of it was intentional? Well, I know they do like the last couple of minutes of the game, you purposely foul somebody to send them to
That's an intentional foul.
That's an intentional foul,
Right.
yes. But how do they determine that it was intentional of sending the worst free throw?
Exactly. You can't do
No,
that.
because what they're doing is, it happened with San Antonio and the Clippers in Game 2. San Antonio midway through the third quarter was purposely fouling DeAndre Jordan.
Right.
So he'd go to the free throw line to miss.
Right.
They're trying to eliminate that. Now, if it's an intentional foul, there's a difference. There's a difference between an intentional foul and a hack. There's a difference. Okay? What, if anything, can be done to eliminate that?
I don't think you can. However,
And do you see a problem with hacking?
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Of course I see a problem with it, but I don't see a way to fix it. However, it's getting darker by the minute. However, I do have a solution, being the problem solver that I am. I do have a solution to eliminate any of this situation to begin with. Want to hear what it is? If you belong to the NBA, you should be able to make at least half of your free throws. Hey!
There's a very simple way to solve this.
Hey!
That's one of the first
You
shots
belong
you
to the NBA? You should not miss your free
There's a
throws.
very simple way to solve
Joakim
this.
Noah should not get up to that line. As experienced as he is, as good as he is on that court, and because I don't know how many free throws he missed the other night when the Bulls were playing. That is inexcusable.
There's a very simple way to solve hacking.
You should be able to make at least 50% of your free throws if you're in the NBA.
There's a very simple solution to solve Hack-a-Shaq. Every time it happens, it is a flagrant one. Because you are doing it flagrantly. You are doing it on purpose. You are making unnecessary contact on purpose. If you do it in the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter because it's a close game, there's no problem with that.
No.
That strategy. You should be able to get away with it in the second quarter.
No, I disagree. Buddy, they're going to be at the replay center looking at the controls.
No, they're not.
90%
Why do you need to do it in the second quarter?
As it is now.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
They look at it too much.
Why do you need to do that in the second quarter? Why would you ever need to intentionally foul somebody in the second quarter?
Why would you
Answer the question.
Why would you intentionally label that person? Okay, Chris Guyette does not know how to make free throws. We're going to label him as the person that we're going to foul in the second quarter, hoping that he's going to miss so that we
But why
can
would
get a
you do it in the
rebound.
second quarter? Do you have any reason to do it in the second quarter? Even in the third quarter. Do you have a reason to do it?
I think that's wrong. Sorry. I think that's wrong. I think we're getting so technical. I think all of this replay, look at the screen. I think what the ref calls on the floor should be.
A rule change is necessary for this. It slows down the tempo of the game. It breaks concentration.
And what does looking at the screens on the sideline at the desk do? Everybody loses their momentum.
We're not talking about replay here.
I'm talking about anything that's going to break the rhythm of the game.
Intentionally fouling someone in the second quarter. It's unnecessary. It is unnecessary.
It's strategy.
No, it's not. In the second quarter, why?
So you can maybe get the rebound if he misses.
It's the second quarter. It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. San Antonio was fouling DeAndre Jordan at the start of the second quarter. Why? That's unnecessary.
Because they knew he was probably going to miss?
That's unnecessary. It should not be allowed. It should not. And it's not entertaining to the fans.
You look at, there is some kind of little tweak or something. Okay, baseball. I don't know that much about baseball at all. Okay? But in the major leagues, don't tell me that pitcher does not throw off to the left or throw a ball on purpose to hope that guy's going to take a swing and that's going to be a strike.
Yeah, but you're not comparing apples to apples here. You're meant to do that. You are meant in baseball to pitch it where he can't hit it.
Right.
In the second quarter of a basketball game,
Elena,
there is absolutely no reason you should be hacking somebody. There's no reason for it. Late in the fourth quarter, for intentional foul purposes, when it's a close game, yes, you should foul them because it's strategy. No reason to do it in the first quarter. There's no reason to do it in the second quarter. No reason for it.
I hear you, but I don't know how they're going to control something like that.
You are doing it. Okay. What is the definition of a flagrant foul? A flagrant foul is any unnecessary or excessive contact.
Right.
You are doing this unnecessarily, and it is excessive. Therefore, should it not be a flagrant foul?
I don't know how they're going to control something like this. All I know is it's going to slow the game down. It's going to stop the game again.
But this slows the game as it is.
It's my God.
Wait a minute. You don't have to look at replay if this happens in the second quarter. You don't have to look at replay. This is what's slowing the game down. This is what turns fans off. Fans don't want to see the same person shooting at the free throw line all game long. That's boring. That's boring. There needs to be a solution to this.
Well, I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know how they're going to control this.
Lastly, to close this debate, a Pelicans season recap. Series of questions that we're going to give opinions to.
Just about the Pelicans?
Correct.
Just about the Pelicans. Okay.
Question A.
Oh, well.
And I don't think there's much to debate about this one.
No.
The best player this year for the Pelicans has been?
Let's all say it together.
Anthony Davis. Okay. Question B. Your most surprising player this year, good or bad?
Norris Cole.
Norris Cole, good. Biggest win this year?
I gotta say Quincy Pondexter. Because Norris Cole didn't start. Quincy Pondexter was thrusted into the starting lineup and had to perform right away because of Drew Holiday's injury.
Okay.
And he performed. I'm not saying I disagree with Norris Cole because I love Norris Cole.
Mm-hmm.
But my vote goes to Quincy Pondexter. The biggest win this season.
Over San Antonio.
Last game of the season.
Same thing. Last game.
Anthony Davis' shot against OKC.
Oh, yeah.
Because that gave us a 3-1 lead over OKC for regular season.
Well, they run a close race.
Well, actually, that would go for best moment of
That's
the year.
my best moment of
Yeah.
the year as well, is Anthony Davis's shot
Right.
against
I can
OKC.
agree
Yeah.
there.
Most disappointing moment of the season.
Oh my God!
Game 3 of the playoffs.
Overtime of the playoffs.
Game 3 of the playoffs. Overtime.
I mean, is there any debating about
Yes.
that at all?
Yes.
What?
Drew Holiday's injury.
Oh yeah, but that's not something that.
It's disappointing. Could you imagine if Drew Holiday was healthy all season long?
Yeah, but that was beyond his control.
It doesn't make it still disappointing.
Well, I know that. But
Have
we had a chance to win a game.
Had we had a point guard all season long, a true point guard,
No.
Drew Holiday's injury. The thing you are looking most forward to out of the Pelicans
Point blank.
next year.
Point blank for me. Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis accepting the deal, gaining some weight, and
Anthony Davis in general.
Anthony Davis
Anthony
staying
Davis.
with the team.
The team
Improving,
that the Pelicans
growing.
build around
Right,
Anthony
Right.
Davis.
Right.
right. I think we need to eliminate. I think we need to.
Now, here's the big burning one. What do we do with Monty Williams?
What do you mean? What do we do with
Do
him?
we fire him or do
No.
we keep him, and why?
I don't. If you'd have asked me that last season, I would have said get rid of him because all he did was sit in his folding chair and looked like he was balancing his checkbook in his mind. But he's been up. He's been involved. He's been yelling out plays from the sideline. He looks like he cares.
Okay, but is that enough? Because you should have had game 3. I'm sorry.
I agree.
That game
I
relied
agree.
on 2 people.
I agree.
Monty Williams and Anthony Davis.
I agree. I agree.
So what should we do with him? And why?
I don't think that we should let somebody go just like that, just for what. Like what happened to
Scott Brooks.
Scott Brooks.
But that's something you have to consider. If
Oh
we let
my
Monty Williams go, we
God.
could go for Scott Brooks. That's something you have to consider.
Oh,
It's not just about Monty Williams' feelings. It's about future plans for us. What do?
they're just getting used to having this coach. Don't you think it would be detrimental to get rid of somebody who's your leader after only 2 years and having
2
to start
years?
with somebody
Monty
all
Williams
over
has coached the
again?
Pelicans for 4 years now.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Monty Williams.
This is the fourth
Monty
season?
Williams has been our head coach since before we got Anthony Davis 3 years ago. He took over after Byron Scott left.
Well, I have a solution to the whole problem. We need to get Byron Scott back.
That ain't happening because he's with the Lakers.
I know that, but I want Byron Scott
So-
back.
Fire or keep? Because his contract is expired.
Oh, that I didn't know.
Fire, or it's not firing because he's got nothing left on his contract. Let him go, or keep him, and make your case. Yvonne.
I'm not all about letting somebody go without some real strong justification because they made it all the way to the playoffs. Now, they didn't do what they needed to do in the playoffs, but I'm thinking about the improvements over last season. This is a totally different man. He acts different. He's coaching different.
Okay? But think about future plans too. If he goes, look at our options. Scott Brooks.
Who else?
Oh, there's many other options out there. Kevin Ollie from UConn, who's coaching college coaches that could come to the NBA to coach. Our options are wide open. So you're saying keep him?
So this is the fourth season?
First playoff appearance. First winning season as head coach.
Fourth?
Fourth.
Then I'm going to have to change my mind.
Let him go.
Let him go.
Let him go or keep him and make your case.
I'm saying I'm going to say let him go. Because
But the team is so young still.
like you said, in the beginning of the season, he didn't seem like he was there.
No.
But the job of a head coach is
Is
to not
to be
only
there.
be a coach, but to be there 100% of the season, of the entirety
Right.
of the entire season.
Right.
He didn't show that
He
he
looked
was
like
there.
he wasn't even interested.
Right, until there was
What, about halfway through this season, Bud?
until
Yeah,
until
he started showing some interest about halfway through the season.
December.
Now, I say let him go, and I like the idea of Scott Brooks being the head coach.
Who wouldn't?
Because Scott Brooks is used to a small market team. Correct.
Oklahoma City's a pretty small market. Yeah.
Right. So, think about it. With Anthony Davis next year, Tyreek Evans, Quincy Pondexter, Norris Cole,
I think the guys would eat that up.
I think Scott Brooks would fit perfectly in New Orleans.
So let him go.
Let him go.
Here's why the New Orleans Pelicans must keep Monty Williams. Number one, the connection between him and Anthony Davis is unlike any other I think I have ever
That's
seen.
where I was going with that.
And I'm going to make my case simply by doing this. We like to say how young the Pelicans are. With youth comes inexperience in the
Right.
playoffs, correct? Well, not only was this the Pelicans' first playoff appearance, this was Monty Williams' first time coaching in the playoffs. So does that not make Monty Williams as young and as inexperienced in the playoffs
Oh, they
as the
all
team?
learned from this.
It was a
Yeah,
learning experience.
absolutely.
I am saying that we are the only team in the league. Listen to this. The only NBA team this season to beat Oklahoma City 3 times. The only team to beat San Antonio
Twice.
3 times.
Oh, I thought it was only twice.
3 times.
Yeah, which means we have the potential.
The number 1 efficiency player on our team in Anthony Davis. The number 6 offense. The number 12 defense.
And Anthony set like 4 different records.
It is improvement, and I am a big now.
Proponent of it.
I am
agree.
not saying extend his contract 6 years. That's not what I'm saying. But if a coach makes an improvement from 35 wins to 47 wins, he deserves a chance.
Well, that's what I said to begin with. But let me ask you a question, not to interrupt you, although I already did. I was under the impression it was his second or his third season. You're telling me it's his fourth. So let me ask you a question. If he hasn't learned by now what to do, don't you think
The
4
fact-
seasons is enough?
But let's go beyond that. Let's go beyond that. Let's go to competition. Look at the free agents on the market this year from the Western Conference. Marc Gasol, who plays in our division.
Uh-huh.
Tim Duncan is retiring,
Uh-huh.
plays in our division. LaMarcus Aldridge, free agent.
Ray Allen's going to want to play next year.
Big time free agents.
Ray Allen's going to
especially
want to play next
in
year.
the Western Conference. I'm saying
Uh-oh.
keep Monty Williams. Keep him. He's done a good job.
Right.
He's improving.
Oh,
And
he's
you
like a
don't-
totally different
You
coach.
don't let somebody go if they're showing improvement. You let somebody go on the decline.
That's what I said to begin with. But you could make an argument either way.
You could, but I'm a big proponent of if there's
He
improvement.
starts sitting in that folding chair looking like he's in a daze again.
2-year deal. 2 years. Anything else?
Nope.
That concludes the special edition of Full Court Press Basketball Debate. For Johnny Malsaw and Yvonne Juno, this is Chris Guyette. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week.
Please send us some emails or some feedback. We would love to hear from you.